Men, when a woman comes back after leaving you, that is not the moment to lose your head. It is not the time to get emotional, forget the past, and fall back into the same habits that broke things the first time. That is exactly what most men do, and that is exactly why they end up losing her again. If she left once, there was a reason. Maybe the connection became unhealthy. Maybe the respect faded. Maybe boundaries were weak. Maybe the dynamic became one-sided. Whatever the reason was, ignoring it and rushing back in without clarity, discipline, or self-respect only repeats the same cycle. This is where stoic thinking gives you an advantage. You do not react just because your emotions want to react. You do not let excitement make decisions for you. You step back, you observe, you stay grounded. Her return is not proof that everything is fixed. It is a moment that reveals whether you have actually grown or whether you are still the same man she walked away from. You need to understand this part clearly. Just because she came back does not mean she automatically gets the same level of access to you, your energy, your time, or your emotions. If you have grown, then your standards should have grown too. If she wants to be part of your life again, it cannot happen under the same weak structure that failed before. It has to happen differently. It has to happen with more clarity, more balance, and more respect. In this guide, you are going to learn 7 steps built around stoic discipline that show you how to handle her return the right way. No begging, no overreacting, no losing control, just calm, clear, deliberate action. If you apply these steps, you do not just avoid repeating the past. You become the kind of man she respects, values, and cannot take lightly again. First, stay calm and do not react emotionally. The first thing you must do when a woman comes back after leaving you is stay calm, because your first response sets the tone for everything that follows. Most men fail right here. They get excited, respond too fast, show too much emotion, and reveal that they were mentally waiting for her the whole time. And the moment that happens, they lose their position. They give away their power without even noticing. Stoicism teaches emotional control, and this is one of the clearest places to use it. Her return should not knock you off center. It should not make you rush. It should not suddenly become the most important thing in your life. You acknowledge it with composure. This does not mean you act cold, rude, or bitter. It means you stay grounded. You do not over-celebrate her return. You do not make it seem like all your peace depended on hearing from her again. When you stay calm, you communicate something very important without saying much. You communicate strength. You communicate emotional stability. You communicate that your life has been moving forward whether she came back or not. Women often notice that kind of composure deeply. If she sees that her return instantly shakes you, then the dynamic becomes emotional and unstable again. But if she sees that you are steady, thoughtful, and in control, then she starts to sense that something about you has changed. In practical terms, staying calm means you do not reply instantly out of excitement. You do not flood her with attention. You do not try to force deep emotional conversations right away. You keep your tone simple. You keep your words measured. You let things breathe. You observe more than you speak. Emotional reactions, whether they are joy, anger, or desperation, all signal loss of control. Stoic discipline keeps you from being controlled by the moment. You let her return enter your life without allowing it to take over your mind. That calmness protects your value and also protects you from mistakes. Men who react too quickly often say too much, give too much, and reopen the door too wide before they know whether it should even be open. Calmness prevents that. It gives you space to think. And when you think clearly, you move correctly. Second, observe her actions, not just her words. The next step is to watch what she does. This matters more than what she says. Most men get trapped by words. They hear apologies, affection, promises, or emotional language, and they assume that means real change. But words are easy. Behavior is the truth. Stoicism teaches awareness without rushing to conclusions, and that is exactly the mindset you need here. A woman can come back for many reasons. She may miss you. She may feel regret. She may be lonely. She may be curious. She may simply want to know whether she still has access to you. Your job is not to guess her reason too quickly. Your job is to observe. Does she show consistent effort or only show up when it is convenient? Does she respect your time or expect immediate access? Does she communicate clearly or stay vague? Does she show patience, humility, and genuine interest? Or does she return with the same entitlement and inconsistency as before? These are the questions that matter. Men often ignore patterns because they are too eager to believe in the good parts. But one nice conversation does not mean anything has changed. One emotional message does not prove maturity. You have to look at repeated behavior over time. Observing her actions means you slow everything down enough to see clearly. You do not reward emotion alone. You reward consistency. If she says she cares but makes no effort, that tells you something. If she says she has changed but behaves the same way, that tells you even more. Stoic observation means you do not get carried away by one moment. You look for patterns. Patterns reveal character, and character is what determines whether reconnecting is wise or foolish. This also requires honesty with yourself. Do not ignore red flags because you want the story to end well. Do not explain away disrespect because you miss her. Do not choose fantasy over reality. Women usually respect a man who observes carefully and does not get emotionally swept away. It shows intelligence, restraint, and standards. Over time, your calm observation changes the dynamic. Instead of you trying to win her back, she begins to show whether she deserves a place in your life again. That shift matters. Third, set new boundaries. If the old structure failed, then going back to it is a mistake. That is why the third step is to set new boundaries. Most men skip this completely. They act as if her return alone is enough. They open the door fully, ignore what went wrong, and accept the same weak dynamic that caused the loss in the first place. But if nothing changes, nothing improves. Stoic discipline teaches standards, and boundaries are how standards become real. Boundaries are not about punishing her. They are not about controlling her. They are about deciding what you will and will not allow in your life. If the previous relationship was full of inconsistency, poor communication, disrespect, emotional chaos, or imbalance, then those things cannot be welcome again, and you do not need to make a dramatic speech about it. Real boundaries are shown through behavior. If she becomes inconsistent again, you do not chase. If she disrespects your time, you do not keep offering it. If she repeats old patterns, you do not tolerate them just because you still have feelings. Many men are afraid to set boundaries because they think boundaries will push her away. But weak men fear losing access. Strong men protect peace. Women often respect a man more when he calmly enforces standards than when he accepts everything to avoid conflict. Boundaries communicate self-respect. They show that you have learned something from the past. They show that your growth is real, not just words. Practically, this means she does not get unlimited access to you right away. It means you are intentional with your time. It means you do not move back into emotional closeness just because she returned. It means you allow closeness to be earned through consistency and respect. Stoic boundaries are quiet, calm, and firm. You do not argue about them endlessly, you live them. And over time, she will either adjust to your standard or reveal that she cannot meet it. Either way, you gain clarity. Without boundaries, you repeat the cycle. With boundaries, you build something better or you walk away sooner and cleaner. Fourth, do not rush the connection. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman comes back is moving too fast. They get relief, excitement, nostalgia, and hope all at once, and they immediately try to rebuild everything. Constant texting, long emotional talks, immediate meetups, fast closeness, old habits return almost overnight. And then the same problems return right behind them. Stoicism teaches patience, and patience is what protects you here. If something is going to work again, it has to rebuild slowly. Not because you want to play games, but because rushing hides truth. Anyone can be warm for a few days. Anyone can say the right things in the beginning. Time is what reveals whether something is actually different. When you slow the connection down, you create space for honesty, consistency, and observation. You also create space for respect to grow. Do not jump back into daily emotional dependence. Do not recreate the old routine too fast. Let communication stay balanced. Let time pass between interactions. Let both of you feel the pace instead of drowning in intensity. Women often respect men who can move slowly with control rather than quickly with neediness. Fast intensity may feel passionate, but controlled pacing often creates deeper respect and more stable attraction. Slowing down also protects your mind. It keeps you from making decisions while emotions are still louder than reality. If she is serious, she will not be scared by patience. If she only wanted temporary access, patience will expose that. Stoic patience does not chase outcomes. It allows truth to reveal itself. You are not trying to drag the past back to life. You are testing whether a new version of this connection can even exist. That takes time. When you do not rush, you create room for proper judgment, and that room can save you from repeating the same pain. Fifth, make her earn access. This is where many men completely collapse. The woman returns and they hand everything back immediately. Full attention, deep emotional access, all their free time, and often physical closeness too. That is a mistake. If she left, then returning should not mean instant restoration of the same privileges. Access to you should have value, and value should be protected. Stoicism teaches self-respect, and this step is really about that. Making her earn access does not mean punishing her or acting proud. It means understanding that your attention, your time, and your emotional presence are not things to give out recklessly. If she wants to be part of your life again, she should show that through steady effort, not one emotional moment, not one apology, not one nostalgic conversation. Steady effort, that means she earns more access by being consistent, respectful, and intentional over time. You do not rebuild closeness because of memory alone. You rebuild it because current behavior supports it. Practically, this means you do not give her all your time. You do not reorganize your life around her. You do not instantly reopen your deepest emotional doors. You let her show up, initiate, and invest. And if she becomes inconsistent again, you step back without drama. This shifts the dynamic in an important way. Instead of you trying to prove your value, she begins to show whether she values access to you. That is healthier. That is more balanced. Women often respect men who understand that access to them matters and who require effort instead of handing themselves over freely. When everything is given instantly, there is no accountability. But when access is earned, respect increases. This also helps you protect your progress. If you have grown, healed, or rebuilt your life after the breakup, why would you hand full access back to someone who has not proven they deserve it? Stoic thinking reminds you that feelings are not enough. Structure matters, standards matter. Access should match behavior, not memory. Sixth, keep your independence. This step is critical because losing independence is often what kills attraction in the first place. Many men reconnect with a woman and slowly begin centering their whole life around her again. Their focus shifts, their routines weaken, their goals take second place, their emotional state starts depending on how she behaves. That imbalance is dangerous. Stoicism teaches self-sufficiency, and that must stay strong if she comes back. Your life should remain full whether she is there or not. Your schedule, your goals, your work, your fitness, your friends, your personal growth, your peace, those things should not disappear because she reappeared. She should fit into your life, not replace the life you built. That is the mindset of a man who has actually changed. Practically, keeping your independence means you continue your routine. You do not cancel everything for her. You do not make her your emotional center again. You keep investing in yourself. You stay busy with meaningful things. You do not become overly available. That independence changes how she experiences you. You no longer feel like a man waiting to be chosen. You feel like a man already living a meaningful life. Women are often drawn to that kind of independence because it signals strength, direction, and emotional balance. It also creates healthy space. She sees that your happiness does not depend entirely on her presence. That removes pressure and increases respect. It makes your time feel more valuable because it clearly belongs to a full life, not an empty one. Keeping independence also helps you see the connection more clearly. When your life is balanced, you can judge whether she is actually adding peace and value or simply reintroducing confusion. That clarity is powerful. Men who lose independence lose perspective. Men who keep it stay in control. Stoic independence is not coldness, it is stability. It is the decision to remain whole no matter who enters or exits your life. If she comes back, she should meet a stronger man, not the same one who lost himself before. Seventh, be fully ready to walk away again. This is the most important step of all. If you are not willing to walk away again, then all the other steps become weak. Most men reconnect and secretly fear the same loss happening a second time. Because of that fear, they tolerate too much. They ignore warning signs. They lower standards. They give chance after chance because they are more afraid of losing the woman than losing their peace. That mindset puts them right back in the weak position they were in before. Stoicism teaches detachment from outcomes. That means you can appreciate the possibility of reconnection without becoming dependent on it. Her return is not your rescue, it is just an opportunity. If she respects the new dynamic, shows consistency, and adds value, then maybe something better can grow. But if she repeats the same patterns, crosses boundaries, or brings the same instability back into your life, you must be ready to leave again without hesitation. That willingness changes everything. It removes fear, it gives you strength, it keeps you from bargaining with your own standards. Practically, being ready to walk away means you pay attention, you stay honest, and you do not explain away behavior that should not be tolerated. If her actions show disrespect or inconsistency, you do not fight endlessly. You pull back, you leave with calmness, not drama. Women often respect a man who is willing to walk away more than a man who will do anything to keep them. Not because walking away is a trick, but because it proves that his value does not depend on being chosen. It proves self-respect, it proves discipline, and it creates a healthier dynamic because both people understand that access to the relationship depends on real effort and real standards. Stoic detachment is not emotional numbness. It is emotional mastery. You can care without clinging. You can engage without collapsing. You can hope without worshiping the outcome. That is what keeps your dignity safe. If she stays and grows with you, good. If she repeats the past, you leave with your progress intact. That is real power. Men, when a woman comes back after leaving you, Do not treat it like a victory parade. Treat it like a test of your growth. Most men fail because they react emotionally, move too fast, and hand everything back without requiring any real change. But you can move differently. You can stay calm. You can observe her actions. You can set new boundaries. You can slow the connection down. You can make her earn access. You can protect your independence. And you can stay ready to walk away if respect, consistency, and alignment are not there. Those 7 steps change the entire dynamic. You are no longer the man she left. You are a man with standards, discipline, and direction. That is what creates respect, and respect is what keeps attraction alive longer than emotion alone ever can. Stoicism reminds you that you cannot control whether she returns, whether she changes, or whether the relationship works. But you can control how you respond, what you allow, and what kind of man you choose to be. That is your real power. Not the fact that she came back, but the fact that you remained grounded enough not to lose yourself when she did. Whether she stays or leaves again, your life still belongs to you. Your peace still matters, your standards still matter, and your future should never be built on fear of losing someone who is not honoring your value. So stay sharp, stay patient, stay disciplined. Never confuse someone's return with proof that everything is fixed. Let your actions show your growth. Let your standards show your self-respect. And never forget this. Your life comes first, and any woman who wants to be part of it should meet a man who now knows his worth.